Welcome everybody. We're going to do a very unique book today. This book review will be covering El Hazablaze. So to summarize this book, I'm just going to read out loud this quote Matthew Hearn wrote in this book on page 12. It says, "Both chaos magic and heathenry are reactions to the disenchantment of the world and modernity. While chaos magic embraces the postmodern science of disintegration and a magical gnosis of sex and death and focuses on the future, heathenry tries to resist the symptoms of cultural disintegration with a return to spiritual roots and a focus on the past. Chaos heathenry is the bastard offspring of these antagonistic currents and attempt to break free from the limiting perspectives that constrain both chaos magic and heathenry, while still incorporating and extracting the best of each." That's basically what chaos heathenry in this entire book seeks to synthesize, is, as Hearn elegantly put it, a bastard child of the techniques and theory of chaos magic and the interpretive mythos of heathenry. So it's a really interesting book just in that perspective alone. So this book, when I was reading it, I was amazed. Every contributor was, in their own right, an intellectual. The art, I think, is really amazing. There are a lot of critiques towards a lot of extremist thought, and the authors are very self-aware of exactly what they're saying. It's really hard to kind of say much more other than that without going into very much detail, and the detail is extremely personal to each author. It's a compendium after all. Some contribute more than others. Matthew Hearn wrote a lot of the articles for this book, and most of the art was done by a handful of people, with one contributing a lot. And there is that little bit of imbalance, but the overall voice of this book, I think, is extremely strong otherwise. It offers different perspectives, different topics into the topic of chaos heathenry. I could not really find any shortcomings. I disagree with the authors on some things. I think some authors kind of don't have the same perspective that I do on certain things, like the left-hand path, but they don't feel the need to talk down to other people explaining that different perspective. And other than just like a disagreement on interpretations and like how sources are used, I guess, I can't really find any actual shortcomings that I think really hinder this book. I was, like I said, I was amazed when I first read it. Like, this book blew me away and kind of reconsidered how I did my own chaos magic, even though I don't solely do heathenry in addition to that. much less chaos heathenry. So, that being said, be aware if you buy this book. You're going to disagree with some authors more than likely. The art has some nudity and symbols you might be surprised by. They're not used in the context pop culture usually contextualize them as. They're in the historical context. I think if you choose to not read this book, you're missing out on some really great stuff. I say that disagreeing with some of the authors still. I say that still seeing issues in that book and recognizing the authors took great length to rectify them and make their positions clear on certain topics. I really do think that if you're interested in this book, you should just read it. It's that good of a book. I was really impressed, and if you miss out, you really do miss out. So that is my opinion of it. I think highly of this book. If you do decide to read it, let me know what you think of it after you read it. If you have read it, let me know what you think. I don't see people talk about this book often, so having a discussion around that, I think, would be insightful. Thank you for watching and listening. If you like what you see on my channel, do consider subscribing. I try to post a new video every other Saturday. I certainly hope to see you around, and let me know what you think of Chaos Heathenry.